Pip's Night of Moonglow Magic. Pip stood in the middle of the bedroom, staring at a small blue suitcase. Inside was a toothbrush, a pair of striped pajamas, and Ember, a stuffed dragon with very soft wings. Today was the day Pip would stay overnight at Grandma Mabel's house all alone. A swarm of tiny, fluttering butterflies seemed to be dancing in Pip's tummy. "What if I miss my own bed?" Pip whispered to Ember. Ember didn't say anything, but he looked just as nervous. When the car pulled into Grandma Mabel's driveway, the house looked different than it did during the day. The porch light cast long, dancing shadows, and the trees whispered to each other in the breeze. Grandma Mabel opened the door, smelling like cinnamon and peppermint. She gave Pip a giant hug that felt like a warm marshmallow. "Welcome to your big adventure, Pip," she cheered, her eyes twinkling behind her spectacles. To keep the butterflies in Pip's tummy quiet, Grandma Mabel suggested they make moonglow cookies. They mixed yellow dough and added silver sprinkles that looked like tiny fallen stars. Pip got to press the cookie cutter into the dough, making circles and crescents. For a little while, the kitchen felt so bright and noisy with the clatter of bowls that Pip forgot to feel worried about the coming night. After the cookies were tucked into the oven, Pip sat by the large bay window. Outside, the sun had disappeared, leaving the world in shades of deep purple and ink blue. The familiar street lights of home were nowhere to be seen. Pip hugged Ember tight, watching a single firefly blink against the glass. The butterflies in Pip's tummy were back, and this time, they felt a little heavier. "Time for pajama parade," Grandma Mabel announced. She marched up the stairs, and Pip followed, the wooden steps making soft creak-snap sounds. In the guest room, Grandma Mabel helped Pip put on the striped pajamas. They even put on matching fuzzy slippers that looked like big bear paws. Pip looked in the mirror and giggled. It was hard to be too nervous when your feet looked like they belonged to a grizzly bear. Once the lights went out, the room felt very big. Pip lay in the guest bed, pulling the quilt up to the chin. Thump, thump. Something was knocking against the window. Pip squeezed Ember so hard his stuffing squished. Was it a monster? Was it a giant? Pip's heart beat fast, like a little drum. The room was full of strange shapes that didn't look like the chairs and lamps they were during the day. Suddenly, the door creaked open, and a soft glow filled the room. Grandma Mabel was holding a small lantern that shone with a warm, amber light. She sat on the edge of the bed and tucked the covers in tighter. "Do you hear the house talking, Pip?" she asked softly. "That thump is just the old oak tree outside saying hello to the window. It's just making sure you're tucked in safe." Grandma Mabel opened a dusty book with a golden spine. It was a story about a brave little comet who traveled across the whole galaxy just to find the perfect place to nap. As she read, her voice was like a hum, low and steady. Pip leaned against her shoulder, feeling the rhythm of her reading. The butterflies in Pip's tummy finally stopped dancing and went to sleep, one by one. Pip woke up to the smell of sizzling butter and the sound of birds chirping a happy song. Sunlight poured across the quilt, turning the scary shadows back into ordinary chairs. Pip climbed out of bed, feeling tall and very proud. The first night was over, and it hadn't been scary at all. It had been an adventure. Pip ran down to the kitchen, where a plate of pancakes shaped like stars was waiting. When it was time to go home, Pip packed the blue suitcase again. Ember went in last, resting right on top of the striped pajamas. Pip gave Grandma Mabel a giant hug, the kind that lasts a long time. "Can I come back next weekend?" Pip asked, hopping into the car. Grandma Mabel waved from the porch, her smile as bright as the morning sun. Pip wasn't a first-timer anymore. Pip was a professional sleepover explorer.